we will get started right away. So here is the agenda for today. We have a good lineup of products. We do have a product manager that is out, but will have a substitute for that, which is good. So we'll get started right away. So I'll hand it off to Natalia.
Hello, my name's Natalia and I work with Outdoor Luminaires. So this product actually belongs to Emily Hayes, but I'll be giving you an overview since she's on vacation today. So it's the new emergency mini wall pack. So it's a LEDVANCE branded product and you can see a product image up there right now. Next slide, please. And then for a bit of context, we already have one CCT selectable mini wall pack, but it doesn't have an emergency function. This one is giving you an emergency function and selectability. So it's offered in 1 wattage and it comes with a photocell already integrated into it, and it's CCT selectable. And you can see that it offers 1,875 lumens. And you can see that when it's in emergency mode, it will offer 600 lumens for up to 90 minutes. So it's DLC 5.1 listed, and it's got the integrated photo sensor, like we already mentioned. And so you can see it complies to code for egress lighting. And it's got the CCT selectable switch located on the inside of the fixture to adjust the CCT. Next slide, please. Okay, so one of the features to highlight with this is that it allows for toolless testing. You can press the button. The test function is located on the face of the Luminaire, and it's easy to operate. So I know that contractors like that. It makes it easy to install and easy to understand that you're compliant with emergency code. Meanwhile, the CCT switch is located inside the Luminaire, so that's adjusted when you're installing it. Next slide, please. So we're going to summarize that it offers 3 CCT options. Look, and the switch is located inside the Luminaire, so you're going to adjust it when you're installing it. It's IP for additional energy savings, and it's compliant for emergency applications. So there are no phase-in, phase-out implications for this product. It's going to be offered alongside the current CCT wall pack. This one just has emergency functions. Next slide, please.
So we do have a few questions that did come in. So we'll take those before we move on. One question, what is the temperature rating?
It's -40 Celsius to 40. So it's -40 Fahrenheit to 102 Fahrenheit.
Okay, and then on the emergency mini wall pack, how come the 90-minute runtime is not slated on the features line?
It's listed here on this slide. I didn't put it on the first slide because I kind of ran out of space. It is listed on the cut sheet though.
All right, awesome. Okay, that looks like all the questions, so we'll move right along.
Okay, so our next one is kind of sticking in the similar vein. It's only one nade, so it's the CCT selectable small wall pack. And if you are thinking that this product looks identical to the current product we offer, you are correct. So it's identical to the current product. The difference is that this one is CCT selectable and the current small wall pack is CCT static. So in a lot of ways, it's got identical features too, except for the selectability. So like the emergency mini wall pack, this one has the switch located on the inside of the fixture. It's got an IP65 and an IK08 rating. This one has still got a polycarbonate lens. It's DLC 5.1 listed, and just like the emergency mini wall pack, it has an integrated photo sensor. It is offered in similar wattages, so this one is 15 watts, just like the one that it is replacing. And this one has 150,000 lifetime hours, so it's got more lifetime hours than the previous products we mentioned. Next slide, please. Okay, so this one does have some phase in, phase out implications. So on the left, you can see the nades that are phasing out. So 5 nades are going to be reduced down to 1, which is kind of nice. And the only difference in the product is that it is CCT selectable. It just makes managing distributors' inventory a little easier. The new generation is 0 to 10 volt dimmable 2, and that's why it's allowed to be DLC 5.1 listed, because dimmability is a requirement for DLC 5.1. So that's another difference. And then you can see that in the nades being phased out, there is one black nade. The replacement is bronze, so we're not offering a black version at this time. And then are there any questions about that before we move on?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, awesome. So next slide, please. So here's the summary. So just like the first product we mentioned, this one is CCT selectable. Just like the first product, it's IP65 rated, though this one also has an IK08 rating. This one is DLC 5.1 listed because it is dimmable. And yeah, otherwise I think that if you're familiar with the current portfolio, I don't think that this one will be surprising. The only difference is really selectability. So stock should be here for this product in March, and it's the same for the EM wall pack, the first product we mentioned. I forgot to say that stock will be in early March, so that's coming up. Okay, next slide.
All right. Again, if there are any questions, please put them in the chat. If not, then we will move right along. We'll move right along.
Sorry. You
No,
mind
no
going
worries.
back one more? I want to say one more thing about the last picture.
Go ahead.
So the knockout you see on the face of the Luminaire on the picture on the right, that is where the CCT switch is. So you can remove it to adjust the CCT. Okay, I'm ready. And so this is our last outdoor luminaire product. So this is the new dusk to dawn luminaire. This one is not CCT selectable, it's dual selectable, so you can adjust the wattage and you can adjust the CCT. Just like it's the original version, this one has a integrated photosensor. And just like the previous product, it's IK08 and IP65, and all 3 products we discussed so far have a polycarbonate lens. And then this one is also DLC 5.1 listed because you can adjust the lumens on it. So you'll notice that if you know our current portfolio, we already offer a dusk to dawn area light. It is CCT and wattage static, so you can't adjust anything on it. But if you noticed, the original one is offered in 20 and 40 watts only. So this one really extends it. It replaces HID technology from 35 to 250 watts. So you're getting more range of coverage from this luminaire than you did with the first ones. Next slide, please. Okay, so this one, you can see that this is the switch and where it's located. It's located under the knockout on the face of the luminaire. So they remove it to adjust the CCT and the wattage. One good thing about this phase in, phase out is that the mounting arm is compatible with both products. So although the CCT and wattage static products are being phased out, the mounting arm that you used for the first ones to install are compatible with these two. So that's kind of a nice feature. Are there any questions about this before we move on?
There is one that came in talking about DLC 5.1 and the wall pack, getting it without a cutoff, and has the requirement changed for that.
So it's about DLC 5.1 and it's about the last wall pack, the CCT small wall pack that we talked about.
Yeah. Yep.
And you wanted to know if there was a cutoff version. There is not a cutoff version. It is DLC 5.1 listed. There's no visor or anything offered with it either. But we do have other cutoff wall packs. I don't think they go down that far in wattage though. I think the lowest cutoff wall pack is like 30 watts or something.
All right, and then also another one for the small wall pack. Is there emergency backup for it?
There is not. So if you want an emergency backup, you'd have to get the first product, but that one's also CCT selectable. The thing is that you've got to have a way to do the test function. That's why the first one has that button on the face of it, so you can test the emergency function. And that's why it would be hard to do on the second one.
Okay, and then one more. I'm assuming it's on the dusk to dawn. Where's the PC located?
By PC, is it photo control that you mean? I think it's photo
Yeah,
control.
if you could put in the chat, have a little more detail. Yeah, so photo cell. Yep.
Yeah, it's inside the Luminaire. So if you saw it from the face down, if you were looking up at it, then you could kind of see it poking out on the side. So this picture doesn't do a good job of showing it. Do you mind going back one slide? I think you might be able to
Yep.
see it on the previous picture. Okay, it must be on the other side because yeah, you can't see it there either.
All right.
Anyway,
We'll
I can send you
look
a
into.
picture of where it is if you want it. Okay, so here's the phase in, phase out chart for this. So you see that four nades become one. And so you can see that they look pretty similar, honestly. The bug rating is a little different between the two, and I noted that on the PIB. So you can, if that's important to you, you can check. Um, but otherwise, you can see that the first two generations, or the first generation we had was 20 and 40 watts, and this one goes up to 55 watts and down to 18. So it just gives you a little more breadth to cover with one product. So that's kind of nice. And then next slide, please. Okay, so like we said before, this one is dual selectable. So that means it's really easy to manage your inventory. It's got the integrated photo sensor, which just increases savings. And that's kind of the point of the dusk to dawn is to have that photo sensor. It's got the IK08 rating and the IP65 rating like the previous product. It's DLC 5.1 listed. And then this is another shout out to the increase in products you can cover because this one covers 35 to 250 watt technologies. The previous one only went up to 150 watt when you're trying to retrofit stuff. And then this one, they're trying to deplete the old inventory before moving to the new, but we should have stock for this in March. So let us know if you have any questions.
Okay. Uh, at least on my end, it doesn't look like there's any questions. So we will move right along.
Okay, so the Natalia show is continuing, but it's about to wrap up. So thanks for hanging on with me. So now we're getting into HID retrofits. And these two next products are the high bay retrofits that we're going to offer for existing high bay fixtures. So if you go to the next one, please. So this one is a dual selectable high bay retrofit. So it's IP64 rated. Just like all of the other HID products, it has passive cooling, so there's no fan. So that's one less thing that you have to worry about the end user having break. So that's kind of a positive. It's got an optional PIR and motion sensor. And the thing I want to say about this is that the motion sensor and the remote that control it are the same product codes as the motion sensor and remote that control the corncob lamps, the area light lamps, and the other high bay retrofits that we currently offer. So it's nice that you can use one remote and one sensor nade to cover all of those HID products. So this one, you can adjust the LED panels that you see up to 90 degrees. So that means that it can fit into a lot of really tight places. And I wanted to mention specifically that this was just recently tested and it fit in the LSI Scottsdale fixture that you see a lot. And I know that that can be a really hard fixture for people to retrofit, and this one does fit into it. So we've managed to test that. That has not been added to the cut sheet, but it should be added because I think that's a really important selling feature. So you can see that there are two nades for this. The first one is 60, 70, or 80 watts. The second one is 80, 100, or 120 watts. They both look identical, but it's just different lumen ranges that they cover. They're both CCT selectable, so they both are 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000 selectable. And they both work with the same optional remote and sensor. So they both have the 5-year warranty also. Can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, so this is just another slide to explain how the remote would work in this case. So you can see that there's that little place where you would screw in the sensor. It's really easy to do and people don't have a lot of problems with it. So yeah, I think that I've already talked about that. Another thing I would say is that this product is like all the other HID products, the retrofits. They run on line voltage, so you'll have to bypass the ballast. So just be aware of that in case you're installing them. And if you guys have experience with the current UFO high bay, the Luminaire, this remote and this sensor are almost identical to the ones used to operate that. So it's kind of nice that they are similar and that customers don't have to learn new remotes every time they use one of our sensors. And then I think I saw a question, but let me look. Yes, Sally is right. This is dual selectable. And then for Greg's question about uplight, I think you are asking about like the bug rating, maybe?
Yeah, Greg, if you could put a little more detail, we'll just move on to the next question.
And that's about the height restrictions on the sensor.
Yes.
So the remote will be able to reach the sensor up to 50 feet. And that's listed on the cut sheet, but I can say it here too. So it's 50 feet. And you also only need one remote for all of the sensors. There's no limit to how many sensors one remote will control. So I should probably tell you that too. So here's just a little bit more about what comes with each product. So you can see that the right shows the line drawing, and that's the back of the Luminaire where the switches are located. So they're really easy to adjust. I don't think that anyone should have a problem with that when they're installing it or anything. They will come preset at 4,000 Kelvin. They will also come preset at the highest wattage available. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then all models ship with the aircraft cable, just in case you need it for tethering the Luminaire. Next slide, please. So there is a phase in, phase out implication for this. So on the left, you see the old high bay retrofits. They share the same sensor. They look kind of similar, and you can see that they cover the same wattages. So the old ones will be phased out in favor of the new ones. And the new ones are going to be in stock hopefully this week, which I'm really excited about. We're trying to flush through the inventory of the old before we switch over to the new. And that means if you have any projects you're working on, please let me know and we can talk about how to make the current product suit your needs. Otherwise, if you need the new one, I'm happy to provide it. I think it's a really nice product. And you can see that this also makes managing inventory really easy because you get to reduce 8 nades down to 2. You also get 3,000 Kelvin in addition to the 4,000 and 5,000. So you're kind of expanding the CCT options on this too. Okay, and so here's the summary. So to reiterate, these are IP64 rated. They've got passive cooling like everything else in HIDR. They've got a 6 kilovolt surge suppression. And they've got the sensor and their remote we talked about. They'll be DLC 5.1 listed and they're dual selectable. So they're really easy to install solutions for high bay retrofits. And then, did you want to move on to the next slide or the next product?
There are a couple questions. So one, Greg got back. So without uplight, you get a cavern effect. So I don't know if we will have to take this offline or not to answer a little bit better, but
Yeah, I'll message you after the next presentation and I'll make sure that I understand what you're asking and can get you what you need. And then I
awesome.
saw another question about the sensors being PIR or microwave. So the sensors are microwave sensors.
Okay, and then there is another question: what distribution is offered and what bases?
They're offered in the EX39 base, the Mogul base. And then for distributions, do you guys mean beam angles, maybe?
Yes.
I think this one is 117 degrees, but you can kind of play around with the panels. So,
Okay, and then I'm going to kind of combine two questions into one. Will there be a 347 volt or a 480-volt option?
okay, my attention has now turned to 347 volt and 480 volt solutions. And I really want to do a line extension for this to cover up to 480 volts. I can tell you that the project I'm working on next to cover that kind of voltage range would be for the corncob bulbs. But if I can lump in the high bay retrofits to that project, I will really happily do that because I understand that's important. And I don't see a lot of those on the market, so I think there's a lot of opportunities for that.
All right, that's all of the questions that I see right now, so we'll move right along.
Okay, so this one is kind of a similar, it's definitely a similar application. It's just a different lumen range that it'll hit. So this is the high wattage, high bay retrofit, and I'll take the next slide. Okay, so unlike the one we talked about previously, this one is not dual selectable. It's CCT and lumen static. However, it goes up much higher in wattage than the previous versions we talked about, and this is a net new product for us because we've never gone up this high with high bay retrofit lumens before. So previously we stopped at 120 watts. These are offered in 140 and 160 watts. We offer them in 4,000 and 5,000 Kelvin. They are using the same sensor and remote as the previous products, which is nice. And just like the previous products, they offer passive cooling. Just like the previous product, they're IP64 rated. And both of these high bay retrofit solutions are rated for open and enclosed fixtures, which I think I forgot to mention with the first product, but that's important too. So the LED replacements can do like maybe 750 is really stretching it. 400 watts would probably be where you would cap out for HID. But if it was an incandescent bulb, I think it might be around 750 watts to retrofit. And these will also be DLC 5.1 listed. So next slide, please. So this is a repeat of the first product, the first high bay retrofit we talked about. They run on line voltage, so you'll have to bypass the ballast. They come with the same safety clip. And then one thing I wanted to point out here. So one of the good selling features with the first high bay retrofit that we did is that it had the extendable base. This does not have that. So that's just one thing I wanted to make clear. And then like with the first high bay retrofit we talked about, these will use the same optional accessories. Okay, so there's no phase in, phase out implications with this. So just to review, it's IP64 rated. It's good for both open and enclosed fixtures. It offers passive cooling with 6 kV surge suppression, and it would retrofit something like a 400 watt HID. So we've not been capable of doing that before. So it's just offering up more opportunities for your distributors. And then stock should be available this week also for this product. So both of these should be in stock this week.
All right, awesome. There is, I think it's a question. Will a 300 or 3000K color temperature be on the roadmap for either of these retrofit high bays?
The first one is offered in 3000 Kelvin because it's selectable. So the first one you're already covered on. This one we've got in 4 and 5000 Kelvin right now. I can tell you that we already did all the certifications for 3000 Kelvin when we did the 4000 and 5000 Kelvin. So I currently only brought in 4 and 5,000 Kelvin based on the sales of the first high bay retrofit that we offered. But if there is need for 3,000 Kelvin, the part numbers already exist. I just haven't brought them into stock yet. But if there's need for it, I can. So certifications for that are all done and everything, which makes it easy.
Okay, a few more questions coming in. Will there be a 750 to 1,000 watt equivalent?
So I'm looking to do corn cobs for that first. So I actually hope to have a corn cob bulb that is 300 watts, which would be probably 1,000 watt equivalent offered by the end of the year. Once I get the corn cobs done, I'll turn my attention back to the high bay retrofits. But yes, that is on my list of things that I know are important.
Okay, and then one more came in. Will there be a mogul based option for the previous fixture?
Yes, so DLC will only certify mogul base options. So these are both mogul base already. So they're the EX39 base.
Okay. That looks like all of the questions that I see right now. So, for the interest of time, we will move right along.
So
So that
thanks,
should be it for
everyone.
you. Thank you,
And
Natalia.
yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I can stay online and respond to chats.
Certainly. All right. Next up is Pablo. So, Pablo, take it away.
Thanks, Mix. Hi, everyone. This is Pablo from Indoor Luminaires team. So I'm happy to present today the online gimbal launching that we have for this month. So, okay, let's start the presentation. Can we go to the next one? Thank you. Okay, so main features for this downlight gimbal. Okay, as you know, we have a current generation of gimbals. Okay, so this one, it's going to be like hardwire installation and not screw based like the one that we already have in our line. Okay, this is gonna fall under high performance family. What it means, it's going to be like 5 CCT selectable in the same product. You got it, the switch in the driver. So that's the way that you are going to make your color temperature selectability. Okay, as this is a product to mainly application in hospitality, residential, and this kind of application, the beam angle is really narrow in 45 degrees, and the lenses are also tilting in 90 degrees, so you can just direct the illumination wherever you want. The sizes that we got for this downlight are 3, 4, and 6 inches, okay, with 3 different wattages for sure in each size. Okay, the CRI is going to be higher than 90, okay, for better color reproduction, and the housing is made in aluminum. Okay, so you also don't have any issue just with the application in any bathroom or shower application, as this is wet rated, so you can ensure your applications in this case with this product. And another good point is that this is an easy installation, so you don't need any housing can for this downlight application. Okay, the warranty will be like 5 years, and for sure, as this is a high performance LED product, this will have like Energy Star and also Title 24 to make compliant the selling in California. Okay, next one, please. Okay, so with this one, I just want to show like the tilting lenses just work. So maybe we can play really quick the video over there, Nick. So we have sometimes some many questions about how the lenses just tilt, so you can just see how the degrees just to move or to direct the light can be done with these tilting lenses. Okay, so it is as I told you before, it is 90 degrees, so it is not completely rotatable. It is just 90 degrees each side, sorry. Okay, next one please, Nick. So with this one, it's really just to show you like the dimension of the product, you know, about the driver. Sometimes we have like like the question of how big is it, so you can see just the details about the driver, about the fixture of the downlight, so you can see every size that you need for your projects. This is just to show you in details, and you can also look at this information in the PIB. Okay, so well, the summary for this product, that is the launching that we have for February in indoor products. Okay, this is going to be 5 CCT selectable with 3 different wattages, and also the high CRI reproduction for this fixture. Okay, you have the 3, 4, and 6 inches available, and the beam angle in 45 degrees, and tilting lenses in 90 degrees. Okay, the installations accessories that you got in the box are going to be wire nuts just to make the electrical installation. And well, you have here the 3 different nates that we got for this gimbal generation. And well, I think the main problem that you will solve with this kind of CCT selectable products is for sure the stock reduction. Okay, so the complexity is much less with this kind of product, so you can avoid this kind of having a lot of nates with the different CCTs, just having all in one. Okay, so for sure the flexibility of the applications due to the narrow angle and also the tilting lenses. Okay, and for sure, and very important, the installation, that we don't need a housing can, so it is really simple to make the installation.
All right, awesome. I do see Lydia answering some of the questions, so thank you, Lydia, for that. But we do have some other questions that have come in. One, how do you adjust the aperture with a wide range of openings?
Sorry, Nick, I didn't get the question. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, so how do you adjust the aperture with a wide range of openings? I'm assuming it's the actual housing.
Yes.
And
Yes, let's say you can adjust like the beam angle for sure. The only thing that you can adjust there is the tilting lens. So I mean, you can adjust whatever degree you want when it is until 90 degrees.
okay. Awesome. And yeah, thank you. Beam angle is fixed at 45 degrees. There is another one. Do they need clearance for airflow, or can it go into shallow ceilings?
Well, I think this is also for shallow settings.
All right. So another question, the physical size is the same you buy, you just adjust the beam width?
That is right. That is right. That is correct. You just adjust the beam.
Okay. Another one that came in, what is the lumen output for the 6-inch diameter?
For the 6 inches, we have 1,000 lumens. That is the lumen output for the 6 inches.
All right. Awesome.
Yes, we have like I think 550 lumens for the 3 inches. We have 650 lumens for the 4 inches and 1,000 lumens for the 6 inches.
All right. That looks like all of the questions right now. If you do have any more questions that we can't get answered, you can always reach out to your local LEDVANCE sales rep, and they'll be able to help you with this. So I think, Pablo, this is the end of your journey right here. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, and we'll move right on to Jody. Jody, take it away.
All right, thanks everyone for hanging in there. Just a few more minutes. I have 2 topics today. The first one is the new introduction to the dualescent family. So that's our brand name for lamps that run on ballast or can be wired directly to line voltage. So the family will contain a 2-foot, a 3-foot, and a 4-foot. You can see the specifications there. I'm excited about this family because it's not only compatible with ballast and also can be used by line voltage. The new feature on this versus the current 4-foot that we have is that it allows for double-ended wiring and single-ended wiring. So for all new applications, we recommend double-ended wiring. But if you are going into an application where it's previously been wired for single, this is your lamp. You can directly retrofit right into that application without doing any additional wiring or socket changes or anything else. So it's very versatile in that it's solving some problems. I've heard my colleagues today talk about reduction of inventory on some of their products. These are not CCT selectable, so it's not giving you that advantage, but it is giving you the advantage to work in those 2 applications plus now the 2 wiring configuration applications. So kind of jack of all trade. The product is dimmable. It will meet DLC 5.1. It is dimmable with a accessory module. The module name is listed there on the bottom of the slide, and it would be in place of a dimming ballast. So in type A, it would be dimmable with a dimming ballast. Used as type B, you would replace that ballast with this module, and then it will work on a 0 to 10 volt dimmer. So very versatile if you've got applications where dimming is required and rebates to be had with DLC 5.1. This will be a great addition to your basket. So phase out, we have a 4-foot product in stock right now that is only double-ended wiring, and it is only 4-foot. So I'm adding to the family. So there's 2-foot and 3-foot SKUs added to complete the family. So just keep in mind that the old 4-foot will still be being sold down as inventory depletes. We will have this coming with inventory in March on all 3 sizes. So here's kind of the landscape with all of the nades and their specifications. Again, it's our most flexible product in our portfolio now. Again, the DLC 2 and 3 foots now complete the family. And again, I mentioned just being able to maybe reduce SKUs, not carrying substitute and lead lesson. You can just carry this dual lesson. Having the 2, 3, and 4-foot allows you to go into applications with more sizes. And again, if you have an application that's already been wired single-ended, you can use this lamp, whereas our other type Bs cannot be used in those applications.
All right, awesome. We do have a few questions that came in. Will it only be offered in glass?
Good point. Thank you for pointing that out. It is a glass product. It has PET coating, which allows for some shatter resistance. Won't be shatterproof, but the glass will be contained should you drop it and the glass break. So currently that's what we've got. So not a plastic option, but some shatter resistance.
All right. Another question that came in, will there be a single and double-ended wiring 2200 lumen offering?
Another great question. That is on the roadmap. It will be slightly higher wattage, 18 watts, 2200 lumens.
All right. And one more that came in. Where is the dimming module installed, and would it provide dimming for the entire circuit?
Entire circuit. So it's a 100-watt module. I think the maximum wattage on it is 95. So it could be used for more than one fixture, but not the entire circuit. The 8-foot, I see that question, not currently on the roadmap in this technology. We can look into it though.
All right. And another one, is this EM ballast compatible?
Yes, it is. So we would list those on the compatibility list. I think our cut sheet has the type B EMs right on it, but yes.
All right, awesome. Another question, does it qualify for food safety applications?
So it does have the NSF rating.
Awesome. And one more, what is the physical size of the module?
Gosh, I don't exactly have the diameter. I mean, the dimensions right in front of me, but it will fit the existing holes in the fixture where the ballast resides today.
All right. I don't. Oh, one more question just came in. When will the dimmable accessory be available?
It is a great question. Marjorie is handling the modules and dimmers and ballast that go with my products. And I know that I've seen a lot of activity with her getting pricing set up. So you don't know exactly when. I don't know if she's on and can maybe type in that chat box with that answer.
All right, so that'll be one that we'll have to take offline.
Yeah, we can follow up for sure.
Yeah. All right, awesome. All right, so we will move right along.
All right, sounds good. So on the other side of the spectrum, I'm introducing two substitute products. They're IPS, so that means they work on instant and program rapid start ballast. They are the 9 and the 12 watt and 4 foot length. So these products are replacing existing products in the portfolio. The 9 watt is our lowest watt 4 foot available. You can see the LPW there. So I just want to point out that in our last launch, if you joined us, I think it was the last one, we launched a 10 watt. So you might wonder why we need the 10, a 9, a 12. Well, the 10 watt was specifically designed with a higher LPW. So these are qualified for DLC 5.1. They do have good efficacy, but that 10 watt's going to be your go-to for California utility rebates because it will hit that requirement of 145. So this is just under, but provides you with a little more energy savings if you use a 9 watt. And if you go to the 12 watt, of course, you're going to have more light output. And so it's a true PIPO. Many of the products are actually already active and been selling. There's a couple that will go live at the beginning of March. So there's your list right there. And as the old ones sell down, we will phase them out. And of course, the new ones, most of them in stock selling already. And the last two will be available in the end of the month. So again, just to reiterate, the 9 watt is the lowest wattage. The 12 watt gives you full lumen output. They are dimmable when combined with compatible dimming ballast. So you're meeting that DLC 5.1 requirement if you are going after rebates. Seeing that the only question, the CCT selectable.
Yep, you can take it.
Okay. Yep. So that is on the way. Yes. It's in process now. I don't have an availability date at the moment, but coming in type B.
All right, and I'll take the other question. Yes, this slide deck will be available to everybody. Again, an email will go out next week that will include not only the slide deck, but also a recording of this webinar. All right, and I don't see any other questions in the chat, so I think you're all set, Jody. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that'll wrap it up for the February 2022 LEDVANCE product launch. As I mentioned, there will be an email going out next week with the slide deck as well as a webinar recording. And from everyone here at LEDVANCE to wherever you are, I hope you guys have a nice rest of the week and stay tuned for more product launches in the future. Thank you.